Why?
Anal
How
sex.
You can't begin like that, surely.
We
Ramp it up,
can.
surely,
Keep
as
going,
we
keep
go
going.
along.
Run with it,
Okay,
run with it. Go.
okay. This is episode 3 of the EAX Commentaries, starring myself, Elliottadventure, with Benjamin Harrison. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. And this is the... I think we're going a bit too fast, actually. I've already
No, it's
wasted my first minute of material. Um, These are the title sequences. I suppose I haven't talked
Rodney.
about them before. Yeah, Rodney and
I
Luna and Lyra, and in fact Joe haven't all appeared yet, which is quite strange, really. For the first 2 episodes, only the main character was present, and I really quite like that, actually. I like the idea that the protagonists were built up slowly over the first series, because I think that's quite realistic, really. People meet each other and, well, it's not realistic because people don't go and meet each other and go on Pokemon journeys, but you can see my thinking.
Well, you've got to remember that in the original Elliott's Adventure, Jason, I believe, didn't turn up until like episode 11 or something.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
Huh?
And I think Dawn was episode 3. I think Chris was episode 2, but Joe was there from the start. I think that's the key
Yeah.
bit. But a similar sort of approach, really. I applied yet again.
Yes.
In fact, of all the series, I think, well, I don't know, it's a weird one. I think the first series of this is most similar to the original in terms of structure, but I think the later series 4, is probably most similar in terms of kind of wackiness. But
And it's probably the best as well, I'd say.
oh, thank you very much, good sir.
No problem.
Anyway, this is the debut of Joe. Um, Basically, when I was thinking of the
Hello,
new characters
Joe.
for this series, I believe Luna was a character contest creation, which
She
is
was.
a very good concept brought forward to me in a
By whom?
competition. I honestly can't remember.
Who?
I should.
Oh,
I'll find that
unprofessional.
out. I found that out for episode 8 or 7 when she appears. Um, I think Rodney was just something I created. He's sort of slightly based off the original Chris, um, but there are a few differences. Lyra was basically me trying to make a character out of the Heart Gold Soul Silver heroine. Is that how you say it? Heroine, not like the drug, but
Yeah.
like the female hero.
Well, I know which one I prefer.
And
The female hero.
of course,
Of course.
don't do drugs,
Yes.
kids. Um,
Oh. Unless you
and
want to, make your own choices.
make your own choices. Don't listen to us. Um,
No. What do we know?
what do we know?
What do we know?
What do we
That's what
know?
I want to know. I want to know what we know.
And this is Joe, and he's practically unchanged from the first series. He's the only character from the first series to remain, but to also be completely the same. Whereas the protagonist Elliott was more or less completely different in a way. What do you think about that, Benjamin?
Um. Well, entirely the same. He's a bit more, bit less random, so to
Mm.
speak, in the current one. Less just, oh
Yeah,
no, everyone's
yeah.
got cancer, onion rings, that kind of thing.
That is a sort of
That was
that.
episode 25, I
Yeah,
believe,
I
of
believe
the.
that was. I think that was in the
Yeah.
first 2 minutes. Yeah, I think maybe it's because my writing got better, but yeah, he is slightly more grounded, but he's basically got the same personality. He still does like onion rings, and I think there was a mention of onion rings in this episode somewhere, but
Oh,
it's less
that's for all
excessive.
the old fans, the old school fans, from like
Yeah,
circa 8.
circa '08. I wonder if any of them are still alive. When did you start
Oh,
watching Howson?
around the time of around episode 11 or so of the
Really?
original. Yeah.
God, I just sort of like imagined that like everyone who watched those original episodes have just grown up now and are just gone. They're living lives. They've got jobs. God, I
I think
forgot.
most of them have. Really.
Yeah, terrifying.
I mean, that was what, 5 or 6 years. Oh shit, I'm old.
Jesus. Excuse us while we go and cry for a bit.
In episode 3 of the Elliottadventure X commentary,
Mhm.
Elliott and Benjamin come to terms with their own mortality.
Reminisce. So how did you find out about the series? How did it
Um,
happen?
well, I
Because
was a nerd, so I was just googling like Pokemon comic or something like
really,
that, and it came up. Yeah.
wow,
Mm.
wow, you had a comic, didn't you?
I do.
Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah, I think you had
I
like a
Ben's
revamp.
Adventure,
Uh huh.
Ben's Adventure,
Uh
and then and that went on probably like 12 or so episodes, and it
huh.
wasn't good.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I enjoyed
and
it.
then I did Ben's Brilliant Quest, which I started
Ah,
making. That
BB
was around the
Cookie.
time you revamped as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh, but my computer that I was making it on just went kaput,
Oh yeah.
and I lost all the files, which is a shame because that actually wasn't bad.
Hmm.
I was doing like a similar thing with all the heart gold sprites, and like,
Yeah. That nearly
mm,
happened to me a few weeks ago. I nearly lost everything. I had to manually restore all my important files. So you're lucky you even get these commentaries, quite frankly.
oh yes, I am.
That wasn't really directed to you as such, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I already know all that stuff.
This Pokemon guy is a reference to the merchant in Resident Evil 4.
What, nerd.
Yes, bit of trivia there.
I've never even played
No,
Resident
I
Evil.
haven't either. I haven't either. um, no, have I? But I just sort of knew about it. We haven't really talked about the episode, have we? This is episode
No.
3. This is where Joe turns up. This is where Alan is rescued. And basically things just kind of consolidate a bit, and I like it. I think it's probably the strongest one so far. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that kind of happens with all of them,
Yeah,
in the early ones.
they all start out a little bit relatively sort
Shaky.
of yeah, or sometimes a bit safe. Like yeah,
Mm.
I think that's a good way to describe it. But it definitely gets stronger over time. I think like I think probably episode 10 is where it starts getting sort of properly quite good.
Yeah.
My humble opinion.
Mhm.
But yeah, any other thoughts, Harrison?
Um. Well, I'd like to finish this episode by saying,
Mm-hmm.
um, if you're listening to this and you haven't already, join the forums. I
Oh
imagine if you are
yes,
listening to this, you have an account. But
yes,
like
but
there's
you
like
should.
5 of us who actually use it now, and there's like 200 members. So
You
you
should.
all suck.
You should bloody well post. Elliottadventure.freeforums.org. Make an account is free and easy, and you could basically just come on and chat with me and him and some other
I've been on
freaks.
since the beginning.
Yes,
I
so
was
have
the
I.
sixth person to join, I think.
Interesting factoid. You can find the link for that on my channel, I believe. And
Mm.
okay, bye.